Okay.
Very healthy. Well, when I served the man his salad, a little tiny green worm
Curled up.
came out of the salad.
It's protein.
I feel, but no, I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, and I explained how they do the planting and vegetables and this and that, and I took it back. But he began to make a big commotion to the restaurant and loud
Right.
and noisy, and I said, "Please," I said, "you've had your drinks; they're free. You had a worm, that was extra." I said, "and the meals are on me." I
Yeah.
said, "Please, will you just keep it down?"
Right.
But no, he wouldn't. And so I asked him kindly, so I'm going to ask you one more time, please, will you just shut up? And he said, "I want to talk to the owner." That was the best feeling in the world. And I said, "You're speaking to the owner." And that was such a good feeling. And I said, "I'm going to escort you out of here." He said, "You are?" I said, "Yes, I am." And so I was able to escort this man out of my restaurant. Throw him away. But no, that was a good feeling.
It's the little things in life that make you
Yeah,
happy.
that little green worm. But no, I had a lot of friends in the island, a lot of nice people, a lot of good people. The sweetest people. I never could understand racial problems because I'm not
Right.
into racial problems.
Right.
Living there so long, you know, if they got cut, their blood was red. It wasn't a different color.
Right.
If somebody died, they cried. They hurt. They were sad. It's sad for me when I came and I see how everybody was at that time here.
Right.
But
Ooh, yeah. How was that shock
the
coming
people
back?
the people of that island treated me as though I was their family, and they basically watched out for me when I was
Wow.
there.
That's beautiful.
And it was wonderful, wonderful time at that island.
So you were a martial artist,
I
seventh
was
degree.
a mother,
a
martial
mother,
artist, a wife.
Yeah.
A
Were
part-time
you a
chef.
7th degree black belt? Is that what I?
Kajikempo,
Kajikempo?
when Emperado honored my Shiandai Kung Fu
Right.
and took me under his wing, Kajikempo honored.
Oh, really?
See, this is what I didn't
Yeah,
know.
Kaji Kempo took
You-
your kung fu under.
I am officially under Kajikempo.
Wow.
I am the only woman that has her own style.
Yeah,
under Kajikempo. And
That's crazy.
way back in 1974, I think that was, Teddy Sotelo and
Uh-huh.
they had discussed with Emperado what was happening with me and that I had been demoted to white belt and it wasn't anything to do with the art, it was a personal
Right.
issue. But anyhow, and Emperado got together and they discussed it with some people or whatever. I never knew this was
Did they
going
bring
on.
Al into that discussion?
Yeah, they should have. Anyhow,
So that's a no. No, no.
yes, Emperado said, "Oh," and it was cute because I've always kind of been. Emperado liked me, I
Yeah.
was different, and he,
To say the least.
he liked me, and
Yeah.
he took me under his wing, and he said, "Here's your certificate. You are recognized in Kachikempo Shiandai Kung Fu. I bring you in
Wow.
to the association because I know your background. I've seen you perform. I've seen you fight. I've seen students. I know you." And
Wow.
Shiandai Kung Fu is recognized by Kajikempo. And so in Kajikempo, 7th degree black belt. In One Hap Kyundo, which is our style, 9th degree.
Former 9th degree.
Well, he did give me my belt back.
Oh, he did?
After almost 20 years or something, I was reinstated.
And that's because the boys said, "Dad, give it
Yeah,
back."
yeah, yeah.
No, I just, it was a shame. I'm sorry that all that happened, and that was not a good thing, but it's no hard feelings on my part, and I would never be disrespectful
Right.
to Al.
And
or
looking
his
back,
students.
it's a great laugh, isn't it?
Yes.
Looking back, it's like, oh, what the hell?
It is. I
Yeah.
kind of laugh about all of it now because, and when you really think about it, the belt is just for, I don't know, boast you morale
Right.
maybe. Who
Yeah.
needs a belt?
Yeah.
If you walk into the training hall and you can't tell student from teacher or beginner, intermediate, advanced, expert, seafood, then there's some trouble there.
Right.
That's true.
So You don't. I don't. In fact, I never really wore the belt.
I had it. I just didn't wear it.
I just trained.
It was
you
in the
know.
closet.
I was never a typical trainer because the students used to bring me food because they knew I was always hungry, and so I would sometimes.
Didn't Al feed you?
Literally and metaphorically,
Yeah,
she was
she can't
always
cook.
hungry.
So people just
Especially the school in Germany, I'd go. You know, we had all these mats propped up, and I'd hop up on those mats, and I'd sit up there, and I would say, "Aufstellen!" You know, everybody would land in position, and I blah blah blah, and with my strawberries and things right here. Okay, you know, for half an hour. This is what you're going to do. You're going to do it, not me. I am going to eat, and I am going to watch you. And so I would train like that. And I mean, you can ask any of my students, and they say, "Yeah, but man, did I turn out good students?"
I bet.
So
Yeah.
I
But
understand.
I also can't take all the glory for
Right.
the good students because Al was involved when I got him from the
Oh, that's
other
right,
right.
yeah,
That's
the
when
right.
he
Yeah.
came over, and I did the first half of class, the first more than half, and then the other half I would give to Al. I did the half that required conditioning to be able to do all
Well,
that
yeah.
Al was going to teach him.
So the warm-ups.
Yeah,
were
and that
to-
it was.
Well,
and I
the
made my
physicality.
students- They trained with combat boots on.
Wow, what?
Yeah, Marco even remembers that. Yeah, they in form class. I wanted them to be light like a feather, and so I figured if I put these big boots on them, not ankle weights, because the boot was a balance.
Right,
ankle
Right,
weight
all the way
wasn't.
up the top.
So they trained with big old combat boots on, and
Oh
did
my
their
God.
forms, pop, pop. And then another great story. I have so many stories.
Yes,
in
you do,
Germany.
and we love them.
When I went to teach there, you know, it's the father country, not the mother country like
Right, right.
America.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
the mother country. They're the father country. The men didn't want to take from a woman.
Wow,
wanna take
that's
from a
right.
lady.
Yeah, of course.
And so one
like-
night Al wasn't available to teach, and he said, "You're going to go to Richterstrasse and you're going to teach my class over there." I said, "Okay." So I drive to Richterstrasse, get there, and this school, the teaching was elevated on a platform. So when nobody knew I was coming to teach, they thought Al was coming. When I got there, it was loaded with all these men. And cool, it's going to be a fun class. So I got ready, I go
So
up on
positive.
stage, and when I got up there, I said, "Hi, you guys, I'm your teacher tonight." They all left. And
All of them.
they left. They were men.
Wow.
And so I stood there with my mouth. What'd I do?
Right.
You know, I left the strawberries at home. I came to teach.
I wore the wrong belt.
No, but what I found out afterwards is that half of the men that were in that class were Suhelters. What is Suhelter in America? A pimp.
Oh.
They remember we talked about the Raper
That's
bond.
right.
That's where my school was.
Yeah, your class was in the
and
red light
River
district.
Bond. And they were Suhelters. They were called Suhelters. So they weren't going to let a woman come in there and push and punch them around. And so they left
Wow.
me.
Wow.
So let's talk about the Ripavan,
Yeah.
because that's funny. Here it is, you're in front of a bunch of pimps, and that class that you used to teach were a bunch of...
I was teaching their women. That they didn't, yes. When
So
I
how
started,
did you figure this out?
well, you know, my clientele, you know what really built my clientele was I had probably, I must have had, how many Sagoinas did I have?
Now, what's a Sagoina?
Oh, it's a gypsy.
Gypsy. Okay.
I must have had over 100 gypsies, maybe more.
Wow.
The little children, the teenage sons, and the grandma and the grandpa of the gypsies would come and see what I'm doing. Well, they liked how I was working with the kids. So my clientele grew, and I was kind of noted at that time, she teaches only gypsies. And I said, that's not so. And then my first other student, other than the gypsies, was Emmanuel Betancourt. He was only maybe 15, 16, who now today is still my student, still my good buddy.
Wow,
And,
wow.
that's awesome.
we still, I call him, he said, "Can I call you my mother?" I said, "Of course." And so
Aw.
I started with Emmanuel, and then it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And then one day I had these women, and I thought, cool women, and they wanted to train. And then I never knew their profession. I
Right.
didn't know what they did.
Right, just wasn't part of the screening.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
I just know I want to teach them. And so one night, I always had a trail that I went home on, but this night it was blocked, and the police had me go a different route. And this route took me straight down the shady lane where the prostitutes hang out and the windows and all that stuff. And so I'm going by and I'm oh Lord, I've never been back there before. So I'm trying. I didn't crash. I was looking at everything.
At everything but the road.
And then I see these women, and I thought, who knows me in this
Who knows me?
territory? And then I kind of looked at the women, and I recognized that they were my students.
Oh,
And
wow.
oh my gosh! And then it for a moment, it still didn't register that this is what they did for a living. And then I realized this was for a living. And then they were wearing my T-shirts, advertising the Costco's.
Your school in the red light
in the red
district.
light district. They told me it made them feel safe. Like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they said
wearing a martial
hey, I'm
art
taking this
shirt.
school, otherwise I'll beat you up.
But anyhow, so
Well.
I realized what they did, and so
Right.
I didn't see them for a
Oh,
couple
wow.
of weeks. They
Uh-huh.
didn't come back, and I thought, oh, how sad. I bet they think, well, maybe they're embarrassed or think I won't teach
Right.
them because now I know what they do. But eventually they did come back, and they continued training, and they invited me in Germany every day at 3 o'clock. It's tea time, tea and cake. And I don't know if they do it now, but the old tradition, all the women were dressed to kill.
Oh, wow.
They go have tea and cake.
Wow.
They invited me to go for tea and cake. And I think they were just testing me. I think they thought I was going to say, no, I won't go. But, well, sure, I'll go. And I never thought they would select the
Right.
most exclusive place in Hamburg
Of course.
to go for tea and
Yeah, a
and
bunch of
cake
hookers
to
taking
make
me to-
sure that I
Hey,
was
hey,
seen.
hey. It's legal there.
It's legal there.
But no, I didn't hold it against them what they do
Right.
in
That should have
Germany.
nothing to do
It's
with
a
it. Of
job.
course
It's
not,
legal.
Right.
Right.
Prostitution is legal. It's run as a business. But it was interesting that the Sue Helters, those were some of the ladies that they pimped out.
Wow.
And so, where in America can you have such interesting schools?
Well, yes, you teach the women, and then their pimps walk out on you when you have to cover the class.
How dare them? Al just laughed. Al always laughed. It was funny. But aside from that, the men, they were nice to me.
Right,
They
right,
never
right.
were mean to me.
They were polite. They just
They just would not.
They just
let
didn't
me tell
appreciate,
them
yeah.
what to do.
That's
and
funny.
It didn't matter. But the school in the Reeperbahn gave me an opportunity to use the art several times because
Really?
I used to take the U-Bahn to work, and that's the train,
Uh-huh.
the BART. And I'd get off at the Reeperbahn exit, and you have to walk straight down the Reeperbahn. And that's where the sex shops and all these places are lined up.
Right.
And I'm walking down there. And so several times men would approach me and they would say, oh, where are you going? And I'd say, well, I'm going to work. And they'd say, can we come with you? I said, absolutely. You're more than welcome. Come with me.
They thought
And they
something
would.
else.
Yeah, they
They'd
thought you-
follow me to work, and I'd go back, and a big gate I had to go through, open it up, go in, open up the school, and they'd look, and they'd say, well, what is this place? I said, I teach Kung Fu. Aren't you coming to learn? But that was...
Oh my God, that's so
that was
funny.
interesting, While I lived in Germany, probably the scary part of living in Germany was there was a weirdo somewhere out in Germany that wanted to kill me. And then I would always
Wait, you had a
receive the
stalker?
phone calls. And it was a weird voice. Oh, I'm going to kill you. And the sick thing he'd say is, I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to have sex with you. And I said,
Goodness.
well, sir, it would be much more fun to have sex first and then kill me.
You heard it here, folks. She
I
did
was,
say that.
I was trying to understand this.
Oh my
But,
God.
and then I did tell him after so many calls come, and people began to think something was wrong with me. And so finally a call came one night. I think one of my students was there. listen, so you can hear what this man is saying. Oh, yeah, that's true. He wants to kill her, wants to have sex with her afterwards.
Wow.
So I said I was tired of these silly games. Why didn't you just meet me at the school? Just come. This is ridiculous.
Right.
If you can kill me, kill me. If I'm still standing, then you didn't succeed. But I was tired of every day I'd get these phone calls. I'm
Right.
going to kill you. And what was weird is sometimes I'd get off the U-Bahn, and there'd be lots of people, 20, 30, 40 people, getting out of the train, and I'd hear a voice go, Malia. And
Oh,
I
my
knew he
God.
was somewhere in that crowd of people.
Did you ever see him? Did he ever show up?
No, I never found out. I reported him to the police, but the police, as same as here, unless he's
something
done
happened, yeah.
something, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, I can't arrest him for being creepy.
You have to kill me first, then they would do something.
Wow.
But life in Germany was probably one of the most beautiful times. The German people are absolutely amazing people. The students are hardy. The women are hardy. Pleasure to teach them. They'll push until
Wow.
they drop. They wouldn't care if they had to roll over on this concrete. They would roll. And then they would get all dressed up, and they were beautiful ladies. It was just a fun.
Wow, that's crazy.
I
That would
love
never
But
happen here.
to see that
Yeah,
dynamic,
that's crazy.
Wow.
Yes, it was so different, and like I said, schools had bars in them, and
Oh yeah.
nobody.
Did you have a bar in your
I
school?
had a bar in my school.
Oh,
Craig was the bartender.
Craig was the
He wanted to
bartender.
handle the money.
that sounds like
He
Craig.
was the businessman.
Sounds like Craig.
That was a good
But,
idea.
Yes, I had a bar, and you serve alcohol or whatever
Right.
they want, But that's kind of also a way of life in Europe. Is a lot of people drink wine and they drink
Right.
beer.
Yeah.
They have maybe a better tolerance for it. Than
Oh yeah.
Our drinking here is like, oh, hush, you would never think of giving your 12-year-old daughter a little sip of wine.
Right.
But in Europe,
I think that's
she
where they
can
get
have
the
a
tolerance
little
because they
tiny
start from
sip.
there very little.
Because that is
Yeah.
life. And I remember when I lived there, they never allowed any violent movies to be on television.
Really?
They considered the Three Stooges violent. They
Wow.
would not allow that to be on television because,
They're always
kids
hitting
think
Yeah.
you can hit
They'll-
Papa
they'll
with
start
a
copying
frying
it.
pan.
Hammer,
You
that
can-
sort of thing.
that-
Wow.
They don't allow violence, but they did allow open sex movies. And I never knew this. And one night I got up to go to the bathroom. There's Mark and Craig. Tuned into midnight movies.
I don't know how. Sorry, guys. Hey, Mark, this is not my fault. This is all her.
But,
I don't blame them. Teenagers, you can
That
watch it
was-
for free. It's
that was
midnight.
so
Mom went
Oh,
to sleep.
wow.
What are you guys doing? Well, Mom, there's nothing else to watch. Oh, you should be sleeping. But no,
Wow.
It was the only thing on.
that was a good, for my kids to live in Europe, it was really, really good for them. I remember when they moved back to America, the first thing they said, when you
There's
date,
no porn.
no, when you live in Germany and you date
Uh-huh.
a young lady, it's always Dutch treat. She pays for hers and you pay for yours.
Oh.
Right.
It doesn't make the man have to be responsible for this big bill, especially maybe you're just teenagers.
Right.
Right.
So when Mark and Craig moved back to America and they got back into the dating, Craig said, "I'm not dating. I'm not paying for her food."
They got spoiled.
And Mark would say, "Jeez, it's too expensive here." And in a way, I kind of thought
Right.
that was a good
Lesson.
policy
Yeah.
Yes.
for the young lady to pay for what she ate. And then on special occasions, they would pay or this or that. But
Or as it got more serious, the guy would then
it
start.
wasn't always that way. But you
Right.
know, when you're a teenager,
Yeah.
pay for your own, and that was good. But Mark and Craig had the best living in Europe. They would
Right.
never be the men that they are today
Without.
if
Yeah.
I had not insisted we moved to Germany, because the kids cried. They didn't want to go. Here we had this big, beautiful home, and they were in school.
You were in
Al
Vegas at
had
the
a
time, right?
business. We lived in Colorado at the time.
Colorado. Wow.
And we had a business, and sometimes it's time for a change.
Right.
Something different.
That's you. That's you in a
everybody
nutshell.
knows
You
who we
are
are
always
here.
changing.
Yes.
I want some new territory, new blood. I want to go. But Malia, you can't speak German. I said, you don't need to speak. You show, and then
Right.
you learn. And so we went, and I learned to speak German. I didn't put myself in a school. I learned from the
We're
street.
just talking, right.
I learned street German. Who cared? They understood. And so
Right.
that was all that mattered to me. Whereas Mark and Craig, when we moved to Germany, they thought they were going to go to international school where they speak English. And I said, oh, no, you're going
Deutsch.
straight to German school. And they would come home crying for months. I said, I'm sorry, knock the tears off.
Yeah.
You're going back.
Who
going
had it
back,
the worst?
going back.
Which one of them had it the worst?
Mark or Craig?
Mark or Craig?
They're probably equal at that time. They
Wow.
hated, wanted to come back to America. Well, I have to be truthful. When I first moved to Germany, I moved back to America. I left. Because when I first got there, we moved into a place, there's no kitchen.